welcome to another edition of Eric's Product Reviews, brought to you by hollywoodfrodo.com. I am Eric, and today I'm excited to talk to you about this cool little innovative product by a company called Technaxx. They are a German company, so this is a German engineered little product that really does a cool thing. What does this do? It is a car alarm. Yes, it is a car alarm. This thing you see up here is a PIR sensor. That's a passive infrared motion detector. So you plug this into your car socket, formerly known as a cigarette lighter, but these days mostly just known as a socket. And that's how it charges up. There's a built-in battery in this, so it holds a charge so that when you turn your car off, it's being powered by the battery that's in there. And then it also comes with a little remote that you use to turn it on or to turn it off or to deactivate the alarm. And you turn it on using this, and then this little dome there's a LED behind there that'll blink blue to warn people to stay away. But if someone does break into your car, then this will sound off. And it's a 110 decibel alarm. It comes from this portion right here. And so it's really loud, really piercing, definitely a good theft deterrent, especially these days because, you know, most cars come built in with alarms, but those alarms are disarmed by your standard remote, and those are easily cloned these days. And plus, some people just ignore them and break in anyway, thinking that you know, most people ignore that standard car alarm sound. On top of that, if you have an older car, it might not have an alarm. But this is a piercing. This is not your standard car alarm sound. This is a piercing siren. Sounds a lot like the siren or alarm you would have in a home alarm system. So let me jump over. I'm going to show you some videos of this in action, show you how it works, how you set it up, different features of it, different things, turning it on or off from outside of the car, setting it off, all that good stuff. I'm going to show you several different videos of that, and then we'll come back here and wrap up and give you my final thoughts on it. So the first thing you have to do is you have to pair the remote with the alarm. So you plug it in, gets power. Within the first 5 seconds, you have to press the remote. That 4 times beep means that this remote is now paired with that alarm. So now you're paired with the remote and ready to use and activate the alarm or deactivate the alarm as you want. So one thing to keep in mind is you need to fully charge the Technaxx alarm before you start using it for the first time. It takes about 3 to 4 hours to fully charge, so that's 3 to 4 hours of drive time of your car being powered on and this being plugged in charging. After that, then, you know, it's going to lose a little bit of charge when you have it activated, but then you're going to drive and it's going to charge back up, so you shouldn't have to worry about it after that. But that first time, before you activate it the first time, you want to drive for about 3 to 4 hours. So if you commute 30 minutes a day both ways, then maybe the first 4 or 5 days you don't turn it on, you just have it plugged in and charging. Once it's fully charged, then you can start using it. It'll just continually get recharged as you drive. One of the cool features of the Technaxx, of course, is the fact that it has those 2 USB ports on it. So if you have this plugged in, you can then plug your phone charger or whatever else you may be charging into those 2 USB ports. Now, they're not quick charge 3.0 or 4.0 chargers, so you can't use them for quick charge devices to do a quick charge or for quick charge fast wireless charging devices. But for standard charging of your phone or other devices that need power while your car is operating, you can plug them in there and it'll give them the right amount of power to keep them going while you have the car alarm plugged in. So one of the features that I really love about this device is the fact that it doesn't turn on automatically. When you turn off your car, it doesn't turn on every time. The reason that's great is because, you know, you don't necessarily always want it. If you're just going to the grocery store and you're running in the grocery store for 5 minutes and there's lots of people always coming in and out of the grocery store, you're not worried about someone breaking into your car in the middle of the grocery store parking lot, then you don't have to turn it on. Also, if you're running in and out really quick, that's a time when you might forget to turn it off, and so you'd set it off yourself. So it's not going to be active every time you shut off the car. You shut off the car and then you press the button on the remote to turn it on. Just like when you come back to your car, you have to press the button on your remote to turn it off. And that's one thing I really like. So I'm going to activate it now. I'm going to shut off the car. And now I'm going to press the button to activate it. And you'll see it's going to flash blue, which means it's ready to go. Now if I want to turn it off, and of course you could hear it is active. I set it off immediately. So once it was on, it detected that I was in the car and it shut off. So we're going to run that test again. This time I'm going to activate it and get out of my car. And then when I get back in the car, it's going to set off. Prepare your ears because it's going to be probably really, really loud. So I'm going to activate it now. So you can hear that is really loud. It definitely will get someone's attention. It's very high piercing sound, a lot like the alarms that you have in a house. Pretty loud, really, really loud. And before I even got in the car, I opened the door, and as soon as I approached getting into the car, it immediately set off. So that's kind of a cool thing. And we're going to do some other tests just to show you more about how it works. So we are outside of my car now, and I want to test if I can activate it from outside my car. So I'm going to press the button. I heard it, and I heard the beep on the remote as well. And so I was able to activate it from outside my car. Now we're going to approach the car from the passenger side. I left my phone in my car. Someone sees my phone. They want to steal it, so I'm going to open the door. I'm going to pretend that I broke the window to open the door. And see. Immediately it set off. As soon as that door opened, it set off. So right now I'm standing on the passenger side outside the window, and the reflection makes it hard to see, but I'm going to zoom in. You can see the dome there, and I have the button remote in my hand. I'm going to press that button. Activated. You can see it flashing. You can also hear the beep on the remote. So the remote does beep to let you know that it is activated. I'm going to zoom out again now. So the question is, what if someone just walks by your car? Is it going to set it off? And here I am. I'm even tapping on the window, moving my hand, moving my body. I'm right up against the window, and it's not setting it off at all. It's not sensing anything outside the glass. Let's go over to the driver's side and try the same thing on the driver's side. No, it's not sensing anything. There's no nothing. But let's see what happens if I open the door and start to get in. Immediately it sets off as soon as that happens. According to the instructions, you get about 20 feet that you can be away from the alarm to disarm it. So if you've armed it and you're approaching your car, you can pull out the button remote and press the button before you get to your car to disarm it. So let's test that out. I'm going to get out of my car. I'm going to arm the remote. You hear the beep, and it flashed blue. So I'm going to shut the door. I'm going to back away from my car. And now, let's say we're approaching the car. Pull my keys out of my pocket. So I'm going to press the button. And it beeped to tell me that it was turned off. And I did hear the beep inside the car twice. It beeps twice to turn off. So now I'm going to get into the car and start it up. And we're good to go. See, I don't know if you can see that on the video, but it's turned red. It is always red when it's charging. Yeah, so it seems to work fine to disarm it from outside of the car without any problem at all. One thing I would note is that the time to arm it is short, probably too short for my taste. You don't want to arm it while you're actually in the car, because if you hesitate for a second, if you're not out of your car fast, it's going to be on and you're going to set it off. So because the arming time is so short, probably you want to get out of your car, close the door, and then arm it. If you want to power this off completely, you long press this button. So you heard that. It was a long press, and so what that did is I completely powered it off. So if I turn the engine off now, because it's powered off, if I press the button, it shouldn't react. You see, it didn't react. My button press reacted, but that didn't react. It didn't turn on. The alarm's not getting set. It's not going off because it's completely powered off. Now, if you do that, the way you power it back on is you remove it from power and then you return it to power. Obviously, because my car is off, I've removed it from power. If I turn it back on, now it's going to power it back on, which means that it will... when I turn my car off again, I will be able to activate it because now it's been activated. But if you're pulling it out and you're going to store it for a while, you're not going to use it for a little while, and you want to completely power it off, that's how you would do that. You long press this button and that completely powers the entire device off, and it will stay off until you plug it into power again. So you see, this is a really fully featured car alarm. Besides having the alarm, because it is using or taking up that power socket in your car, it does have the 2 USB ports, so you can use those to power your devices. Now, one thing they could do that I think would improve this product is if one of those was a Quick Charge 3.0, because a lot of devices now support Quick Charge, or you have car phone docks that support the fast wireless charging, which requires Quick Charge 3.0. So in the future, maybe they could add that. But besides that, a lot of cars have 2 ports, so this may just be taking up one of them. And you have 2 chargers, which will power, you can use it to charge your phone or power a lot of devices that use USB power. So that's cool. You've got the sensor, and as you can see in the video, it's very sensitive. It doesn't detect stuff outside of the car, which I think is very important, but as soon as something goes into the car, it immediately detects it and sounds off from either side of the car. Very sensitive, the perfect sensitivity to not go off just because someone's walking by your car, but will go off if someone breaks into your car, and that works great. This just kind of gives you that extra security on a car. I love the fact that you don't have to use it. It doesn't turn on automatically when the car goes off. Some people maybe would like that feature. I'm glad it doesn't, because I don't want it to be on every time. Because again, you've got to take this out of your pocket. And usually I don't take my keys out of my pocket, because this key fob, as soon as I'm close to my car, I just push the button on the knob and it unlocks. I don't have to take my keys out of my pocket. But if this is active, I'm going to have to take this fob out in order to turn it off before I get in my car. So I don't want to turn it on every time. I only want to turn it on when I feel like I need that extra security. So I like the fact that you have to physically turn it on if you want it to be on, and if you don't, then you can just leave it off and no big deal. Now, one feature that I think would be awesome that this doesn't have, but hopefully a future version will have, is if they had Bluetooth 5.0 built into this. Low energy Bluetooth also especially works well with beacons. And then if they could build the beacon protocol into this so that it connects to your phone that has Bluetooth 5.0, then when you get close to your car, the phone detects this beacon or back and forth, and that deactivates it. That way you wouldn't have to have a fob, or wouldn't have to take the fob out of your pocket. It'd be good to have this just in case, but you would, most of the time you wouldn't need that, because anytime you got close to your car and this and the phone sensed each other, then this would automatically turn off. That would be awesome, because that would save you from having to take your keys out of your pocket, which you don't normally have to do anymore with modern cars, but you do if you have this active. So hopefully they'll have a few of those features in a future device, an upgraded version. But for now, this is pretty awesome. I mean, this is very new. Not a lot of devices like this out there, and this works really great. So especially good to have if you're parking in a place where you're really concerned about the potential of someone breaking into your car. This is just going to give you that added security, to have that secondary car alarm that is going to set off, and the siren is really loud. It's going to draw a lot of attention and hopefully deter any potential theft. Again, this is by a company called Technaxx. They are a German company. It's German engineered, so you know it's extremely high quality. And this is available on Amazon. I'll have a link in the description below to the product on Amazon. You can click that link, jump over there, read what other people have said about it, and pick one up for yourself. Anyway, that's going to be it for this review. If you like this review, please click that like button. If you know anyone who might be interested in this product, please share the video with them. All those ways are down there. Don't forget to favorite this playlist to keep up with future product reviews, or just go ahead and subscribe to my channel to keep up with all my videos. Anyway, that's going to be it until next time, so have a great day.